Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English Unleashed. I'm Emma. I'm so happy you're here today. Take a deep breath. Relax. There is nothing to worry about. Today, we are not rushing. Today, we are learning together. One small step at a time. If you have ever said, I want to speak English, but I can't stay motivated, or I start learning, then I stop after a few days, or I understand English, but I'm too scared to speak, then this podcast is made for you. Let me ask you something. What if speaking English did not need hours of study? What if you could improve with just a few small minutes every day? And what if the biggest thing stopping you is not your English, but the way you are learning it? Stay with me, because today I'm going to show you a simple way to stay motivated, stay consistent, and speak English with more confidence. One easy step at a time. Let's remove 3 big worries. Maybe you're thinking, Emma, my life is too busy. That's okay. You don't need 3 hours every day. Sometimes, 1 minute is enough to keep your learning alive. Maybe you're thinking, I'm too shy to speak English. That's okay too. Nobody starts as a confident speaker. Confidence grows every time you open your mouth. Even if your sentence is not perfect. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't live in America, Canada, Australia, or the UK. Good. Because you don't need to. Today, English can travel with you. On your phone. In your headphones. While you're cooking dinner, waiting for a bus, cleaning your room, or taking a short walk. English is no longer a place. It is a daily habit. A small story. Let me tell you about someone. Her name is Sarah. Sarah loved English. She watched videos. She bought notebooks. She downloaded learning apps. She felt excited for 1 week. Then, life became busy. She stopped. A month later, she started again, then stopped again. Year after year, nothing really changed. One day, Sarah made one small decision. She stopped trying to study for 1 hour. Instead, she listened to English for just 3 minutes every morning. No pressure, no stress. Just 3 small minutes. Can you guess what happened? Something surprising happened. But before I tell you, I want to ask you something. What if the biggest reason people fail is not because they are lazy, not because they are too old, not because they have a weak memory? What if most people quit because they make English feel too difficult? And what if the solution is much easier than you think? In the next part, I'm going to show you the biggest mistake beginners make, why it slowly destroys motivation, and the simple change that makes learning English feel lighter, more enjoyable, and much easier to continue. So, let's keep going. The best part is just beginning. Why most learners lose motivation. It's not what you think. Before we begin, let me ask you one simple question. Have you ever felt excited to learn English? Then, after a few days, that excitement slowly disappeared? If your answer is yes, please know something. You are not alone. And more importantly, there is nothing wrong with you. Many learners think, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe English isn't for me. Maybe I'll never become fluent. But here's the truth. That is not the real problem. Imagine this. On Monday, you tell yourself, today I'll study English for 2 hours. You open your notebook. You watch a lesson. You learn many new words. After a while, your brain feels tired. The next day, you think, I'll do it later. Later never comes. A few days pass. Then 1 week. Slowly, you feel guilty. Sound familiar? Here's the simple solution. Don't try to win the whole race today. Just take one small step. Even 1 minute of English today is better than 0 minutes. Remember this simple sentence. Small steps beat big promises. Say it with me. Small steps beat big promises. One more time. Small steps beat big promises. Great job. Keep that sentence in your heart, because it can change the way you learn forever. A simple example. Imagine 2 friends. James studies English for 2 hours only on Sunday. Mia studies for just 3 minutes every single day. Who do you think improves faster? Most people say James, but the answer is Mia, because her brain meets English every day. Little by little, English starts feeling normal. Not scary, not difficult, just a part of her daily life. And that's exactly what we want for you. Another common problem. Some learners wait until they feel motivated. They say, I'll practice when I feel ready. But days go by. Nothing happens. The solution. Don't wait for motivation. Create a routine. Motivation comes after action, not before it. Start first, then motivation follows. Even if today you only listen to this podcast while making breakfast, walking outside, or folding your clothes, you are still learning. And yes, that counts. Every small moment matters. Mini challenge. Let's do something together. Right now, promise yourself one simple thing. Not 1 hour. Not 30 minutes. Just 5 minutes every day. Can you do that? I believe you can. Because 5 minutes can become 50. But first, it must become 5. Now you may be wondering, what should I actually do in those 5 minutes? That's a great question, because in the next part, I'm going to show you the first and most powerful daily practice. The habit that helps learners stay consistent even on their busiest days. And the best part? It only takes a few minutes. Practice 1. Start tiny, stay unstoppable. Now it's time for our first practice. And in my opinion, this is the most important one. Because if you can do this every day, everything else becomes easier. The problem. Many people believe, if I can't study for 1 hour, there's no point in studying at all. That sounds logical, but it isn't true. This one thought stops thousands of learners. They wait for the perfect time. A free morning. A quiet room. More energy. More motivation. But the perfect time almost never comes. This simple solution. Instead of asking, how long should I study? Ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take today? Maybe it's 1 minute. Maybe it's 3 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes. That's enough. Because today, your goal is not to become fluent. Your goal is simply, don't break the habit. Remember this sentence. Never miss the habit. Say it with me. Never miss the habit. Excellent. A real life story. Imagine you're waiting for your coffee. The drink isn't ready yet. You have 3 minutes. Most people immediately check social media. But today, you do something different. You play 1 minute of this podcast. You repeat 1 sentence. You learn 1 new expression. 3 minutes later, your coffee is ready. And guess what? Your English is stronger than it was 3 minutes ago. That's how progress really happens. Not in one giant leap. 5 but in hundreds of tiny moments. Your 5-minute success routine. Let's make it easy. Minute 1. Listen carefully. Don't worry if you understand everything. Just listen. Minute 2. Repeat after me. Copy my rhythm. Copy my pronunciation. Don't rush.
Minute 3.
Say one sentence by yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just speak.
Minute 4.
Learn one useful expression. For example, I'm running a little late. That sounds like a good idea. Let's give it a try.
Simple. Natural.
Useful.
Minute 5.
Smile. Yes. Smile. Then say, I showed up today. Because showing up is already a success. Let's do it together. Repeat after me. I don't need to be perfect. I only need to keep going. Again. I don't need to be perfect. I only need to keep going. Beautiful. You're doing exactly what successful learners do. Future reward. Imagine yourself 30 days from now. You didn't study for hours. You simply showed up 5 minutes a day. Now speaking feels easier.
Listening feels clear.
And something amazing happens. You stop saying, I have to practice English. Instead, you say, this is just part of my day. That's when real progress begins. But there's still one big question. How do you stay motivated when life gets busy or when you feel like giving up? In the next part, I'll share a simple practice that keeps you moving forward, even on the days when you don't feel motivated at all. Let's continue. Practice 2. Remember your reason, not your excuses. Welcome back. Before we move on, I want to ask you something. Why did you start learning English? Take a moment. Think about it. Was it for a better job? To travel with confidence? To understand movies without subtitles? To make friends from different countries? Or maybe you simply want to prove to yourself, yes, I can do this. Whatever your reason is, don't lose it, because your reason is stronger than your excuses. The problem: many learners don't stop because English is difficult. They stop because they forget why they started. One busy week, one bad day, one mistake, and suddenly their dream feels far away. Does that happen to you? Don't worry. It happens to almost everyone. The simple solution: don't depend on motivation. Depend on your why. Your why is your personal fuel. When motivation is low, your reason keeps you moving. So today, choose one clear reason. Just one. Not 10. One. For example, I want to speak English confidently in my next job interview. Or, I want to travel without feeling nervous. Or, I want to help my children with English. A clear reason. makes daily practice easier.
A simple story.
Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel wanted to work for an international company. Every morning, he looked at one small note on his desk. It said, "One step closer to my dream." That was all. Some days, he felt tired. Some days, he didn't feel like studying. But he still listened to English for 5 minutes. Not because he felt motivated, because he remembered why he started. Months later, his English became stronger. But something else changed too. He started believing in himself. And that belief changed everything. A 1-minute exercise. Let's do something together. Close your eyes for just a moment. Now finish this sentence. I'm learning English because... Say your answer out loud. Don't think too much. Just say it. Again. I'm learning English because... Wonderful. That's your reason. Keep it close. Write it in your notebook. Save it as your phone wallpaper. Or put it on a sticky note. See it every day. Because every time you see it, you'll remember why today's 5 minutes matter. When you feel like giving up, one day, you will feel tired. That's normal. One day, you will miss your practice. That's normal too. Please don't say, I failed. Instead say, I'll start again today. That's the difference. Successful learners don't practice perfectly. They simply come back again and again. Repeat after me. Let's say these sentences together. My reason is stronger than my excuses. Again. My reason is stronger than my excuses.
One more.
I don't have to be perfect. I just have to come back. Excellent. Keep these words with you. Future reward. Imagine 6 months from today. Someone asks you a question in English. This time, you don't panic. You smile. You answer. Maybe not perfectly, but confidently. And you'll remember, it all started with one simple reason and 5 small minutes a day. But now another question appears. How can you make English feel easy instead of another difficult task on your to-do list? Because if English feels heavy, you'll avoid it. But if it feels natural, you'll keep coming back. In the next part, I'll show you a simple practice that makes English fit into your everyday life without adding stress. Let's keep going. Practice 3. Let English follow you everywhere. Welcome back. Let me ask you something. Do you know what stops many learners? They think, first, I need free time. Then I'll learn English. But free time doesn't always come. Life gets busy. Work becomes busy. School becomes busy. Family needs your attention. And slowly, English moves to the bottom of your list. If this sounds familiar, don't worry. You're about to change it. Many people try to find time for English. They search for 30 minutes or 1 full hour. When they can't find it, they practice nothing. Day after day, week after week, their confidence slowly disappears. The easy solution. Don't find time. Use the time you already have. English doesn't always need a desk. It can go wherever you go. Think about your normal day. You're making breakfast. You're waiting for the elevator. You're standing in a checkout line. You're folding laundry. You're watering the plants. You're walking to your car. These tiny moments are perfect English moments. Suddenly, practice doesn't feel like homework. It feels like part of life. A new daily routine. Let's build a simple routine together. Morning, 2 minutes. Before checking social media, listen to 1 minute of English. Then repeat one sentence. That's it. Afternoon, 2 minutes. While waiting for lunch, say 3 simple sentences about your day. For example, today's meeting went better than I expected. I'm looking forward to my break. I'll finish this task before dinner. Don't worry about perfection. Just keep speaking. Evening, 2 minutes. Before you sleep, remember one new expression you heard today. Use it in your own sentence. Your brain loves short, relaxed review sessions. Let me tell you about Lisa. Lisa always said, "I'm too busy." Then one day, she stopped trying to study for an hour. Instead, she connected English to things she already did. While making tea, she listened. While driving, she repeated short sentences. While cooking dinner, she described what she was doing in English. Nothing extra. Nothing difficult. 3 months later, her friends noticed something. Lisa spoke more naturally. Not because she studied harder, because she practiced smarter. Let's try something together. Look around you. Don't name objects. Instead, describe what is happening. For example, the kettle is starting to boil. The rain is getting heavier. Someone is knocking at the door. The phone keeps ringing. Dinner smells really good. See? These are real-life sentences. These are the kinds of sentences native speakers use every day. Repeat after me. Say these with me. English can be part of my day. Again, I don't need extra time.
One more.
I can learn anywhere. Excellent. You're building a new habit. One small moment at a time. Imagine one ordinary Tuesday. A few weeks from now, you're walking outside. Without thinking, English sentences begin to appear in your mind. Not because someone forced you, but because your brain has started living with English every day. And that's a wonderful feeling. But here's another challenge. Many learners still translate every sentence from their first language before speaking. That takes time, and it destroys confidence. So how do you stop translating and start thinking more naturally in English? In the next part, I'll show you a simple daily exercise that trains your brain to think in English, slowly, naturally, and without pressure. Let's continue. Practice 4. Monologue your day. Train your brain to think in English. Welcome back. So far, you've learned something very important. English doesn't need hours. It needs small daily moments. But now, let's solve another big problem. One that almost every beginner faces. Have you ever wanted to say something in English, but your brain did this? First, think in my language. Now, translate it. Is this grammar correct? Maybe that's the wrong word. And before you speak, the conversation is already over. Does that sound familiar? Don't worry. This doesn't mean you're bad at English. It simply means your brain is working too hard. The simple solution. Here's the secret. Stop translating everything. Instead, start talking to yourself in simple English. Not perfect English. Simple English. Your brain learns faster when it creates English directly. One small sentence at a time. A small story. Meet Olivia. Every morning, she drove to work. The radio was off. Instead, she became her own English teacher. She quietly said, "The road is getting busy. I'll turn left at the next light.
I hope I arrive on time."
Nobody was listening. Nobody was judging. But every day, her English became a little more natural. After a few months, speaking English didn't feel like translating anymore. It felt like thinking. And that's the goal. The 3-minute monologue routine. Let's practice together. Minute 1. Talk about what you're doing. For example, I'm making breakfast. The toast is almost ready. I need to grab my keys. Keep it simple. Minute 2. Talk about what you see. Maybe you're outside. You could say, "The wind is getting stronger. That bus is running late. The cafe looks busy today." No dictionary. No pressure. Just observe and speak. Minute 3. Talk about your next plan. For example, I'll call my friend this evening. I'm going to finish one lesson today. After dinner, I'll listen to English for 5 minutes. See? You're not memorizing. You're living in English.
Mini challenge.
Ready? For the next 30 seconds, describe your day. Don't stop. If you forget a word, use an easier one. If your sentence isn't perfect, keep going. Remember, fluent speakers don't know every word. They know how to keep talking. Your turn starts now. Great job! Did you notice something? Speaking became easier because you stopped chasing perfect sentences. Repeat after me. Let's say these together. Simple English is powerful English. Again, I don't need difficult words.
One more.
Every sentence makes me stronger. Excellent. You're training your brain, one sentence at a time. Future reward. Imagine yourself. One morning, you're walking to work. Without thinking, you quietly say, "It's going to be a good day." Then, "I can't wait to finish today's lesson." No translating.
No panic.
Just English. Flowing naturally. That moment won't happen by accident. It happens because of these tiny daily conversations with yourself. But here's another question. What if you know the words? You understand the lesson? Yet when someone speaks to you, you still freeze? Why does that happen? And what's the fastest way to train your mouth? Not just your memory? In the next part, we'll do one of the most powerful exercises for fluency. It's called shadowing. And once you understand it, you'll never practice English the same way again. Practice 5. Shadow the sound, not just the words. Welcome back. I have a question for you. Have you ever listened to a native English speaker and thought, "Wow, they speak so smoothly"? Then you try to say the same sentence, but it sounds completely different. If that has happened to you, don't feel disappointed, because today you're going to learn one simple practice that has helped millions of English learners around the world. It's called
Shadowing.
Many learners only read English, or they only listen. Their brain understands, but their mouth doesn't know what to do. So when it's finally time to speak, the words come out slowly. Or sometimes they don't come out at all. The simple solution: don't just listen. Speak with the speaker. Not 5 minutes later. Not after writing notes. Right away. Even if you were a little behind. Even if you make mistakes. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is to train your mouth to move naturally with English. What is shadowing? Think about your shadow. Wherever you go, your shadow follows. Shadowing works the same way. You hear a sentence and you follow it almost immediately. You copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, the pauses, the feeling. Little by little, your speaking becomes smoother. Not because you're memorizing grammar, but because your mouth is learning the music of English. Let's practice together. Ready? Listen first. It's never too late to start. Now, repeat after me. It's never too late to start. Excellent. Again. This time, try to match my rhythm. It's never too late to start. Very nice. Now another one. Listen. Every small step makes a difference. Your turn. Every small step makes a difference. Wonderful. One last sentence. Listen carefully. I'm getting better every single day. Now you. I'm getting better every single day. Fantastic. Did you notice something? You weren't just saying words. You were training your ears, your mouth, and your confidence at the same time. A small story. A young learner named Ethan always worried about his pronunciation. He watched lesson after lesson, but he rarely spoke. One day, he started shadowing. Just 5 minutes every morning. At first, he couldn't keep up. He laughed. He made mistakes. Sometimes he missed half the sentence. But he didn't stop. Week after week, his speech became smoother. Not perfect, just smoother. And that small change made him much more confident. Your 5-minute shadowing routine. Here's a simple routine you can follow every day. Minute 1. Just listen. Don't repeat. Relax. Let your ears get used to English. Minute 2. Repeat slowly after the speaker. Don't rush. Clear words are better than fast words. Minute 3. Shadow almost at the same time. If you miss a word, keep going. Don't stop the flow. Minute 4. Play the same sentences again. This time, focus on the speaker's rhythm. Notice where the voice goes up and where it becomes softer. Minute 5. Turn the audio off. Now say the same ideas in your own words. It doesn't have to match exactly. Just keep speaking. Mini challenge. Let's try one together. Repeat after me. I believe in myself. I'm learning one day at a time. Mistakes help me grow. Excellent. Now, smile, because every sentence you speak today makes tomorrow a little easier. Imagine yourself a few months from now. You hear someone speaking English. This time, you don't panic. You understand more. You answer more naturally. People notice your confidence. And you smile because you remember. It all started with 5 quiet minutes of shadowing each day. But now let's solve one final daily challenge. Many learners practice well when they're watching a lesson, but the moment the lesson ends, they stop speaking. So how do you keep speaking English even when you're completely alone? That's exactly what we're going to do next. I'll show you a simple daily speaking routine with fun micro challenges that will help English become a natural part of your everyday life. Let's keep going. Track your progress like a pro. Welcome back. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought, I'm practicing every day, but I don't think I'm improving? If yes, you're not alone. Many learners quit, not because they stop improving, but because they stop noticing their improvement. And that's a big difference. Imagine planting a small tree. Every morning, you look at it. Today, it looks the same. Tomorrow, still the same. Next week, almost the same. So you think, maybe it's not growing. But then, you look again after 1 month. Now it's taller. It has more leaves. The growth was always happening. It was just too small to notice each day. Learning English works exactly the same way. The simple solution. Don't trust your memory. Collect proof. Your brain loves evidence. When you see your own progress, your motivation grows naturally. Progress tool number 1, 1-sentence notebook. Every evening, write just 1 sentence. Not 10. Just 1. For example, today I learned a useful phrase. I understood more than yesterday. I spoke English for 5 minutes. That's enough. After 30 days, read the first page. Then read the last page. You'll see a learner who has quietly become stronger. Progress tool number 2, your voice journal. This is one of my favorite exercises. Open your phone. Press record. Speak English for 1 minute. Don't worry about mistakes. Just talk. Maybe about your day. Maybe about your plans. Maybe about something that made you smile. Then save it. Now do the same thing. 1 month later. Listen to both recordings. You may still hear mistakes. That's okay. but you'll also hear something beautiful. A stronger voice. A calmer voice. A more confident voice. Sometimes your ears notice progress before your eyes do. Progress tool number 3. Celebrate tiny victories. Here's something many learners forget. Every new word matters. Every sentence matters. Every day you show up matters. Did you understand one new expression today? Celebrate it. Did you finish today's 5-minute practice? Celebrate it. Did you speak even though you felt nervous? Celebrate it. Success isn't only reaching the finish line. Success is choosing not to quit today.
Mini challenge.
Let's look back for a moment. Think about last month. Can you understand more English today? Can you say more sentences today? Can you feel even a little more confident? If your answer is yes, then smile, because that's progress. And if your answer is not yet, that's okay too. You're still here. You're still learning. And that means you're moving forward. Repeat after me. Say these words with me. I am making progress. Again. Small progress is still progress.
One more.
I will never compare my chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Beautiful. Always compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. Imagine opening your notebook. 6 months from now, you read your very first sentence. You smile. Because today, you can say so much more. Not because you were the smartest learner. Not because you had the most free time. But because you never stopped collecting small victories. And those small victories created a big transformation. But there's still one fear. A fear that stops millions of learners from opening their mouths. The fear of making mistakes. What if people laugh? What if you say the wrong word? What if your grammar isn't perfect? In the next part, we're going to break that fear once and for all. Because the learners who improve the fastest are not the ones who make the fewest mistakes. They're the ones who aren't afraid to make them. Don't fear mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward. Welcome back. Before we continue, I want to ask you something. What is the biggest fear you have when you speak English? Is it using the wrong word? Making a grammar mistake? Or maybe you're afraid someone will laugh? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. Almost every English learner has felt exactly the same. But today, I want to help you see mistakes in a completely different way. Many learners stay quiet, not because they don't know English, but because they want every sentence to be perfect. So they think and think again. By the time they're ready, the conversation has already moved on. Does that happen to you? If it does, please remember this. Your silence will never improve your English. Only your voice can do that. This simple solution. Here's a new rule. Speak first, improve later. Don't wait for the perfect sentence. Say the simple sentence. Because every time you speak, your brain learns. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every lesson makes you stronger. So today, give yourself permission to make mistakes. Not once, not twice, as many times as you need. Because that's how real learning works. Let me tell you about Jack. Jack loved English, but he almost never spoke. One afternoon, a tourist asked him for directions. Jack knew the answer, but he was afraid. He thought, what if I make a mistake? So he stayed silent. That evening, he felt disappointed. The next week, a similar moment happened. This time, he smiled and said, I'm not completely sure, but I think it's this way. Was his English perfect?
No.
Did the tourist understand him? Yes. And do you know what happened next? No one laughed. No one judged him. Instead, the tourist smiled and said, Thank you. That tiny conversation changed Jack's confidence. Not because he spoke perfectly, but because he finally spoke. Exercises. Let's practice together. Imagine someone asks, How are you today? Don't search for the perfect answer. Try one simple sentence. I'm doing well, thanks. Or, I'm a little tired, but I'm feeling good. That's enough. Now imagine someone asks, What did you do today? You could say, I finished some work and listened to an English podcast. Simple. Clear. Natural. See? You don't need long answers. You just need honest ones. Every time you make a mistake, don't say, I'm so bad at English. Instead say, Good, I found something new to learn. One small sentence, one big change. Because your brain believes the words you repeat. So choose words that help you grow. Repeat after me. Say these with me. Mistakes help me learn. Again, I choose progress, not perfection. One more. Every time I speak, I become stronger. Excellent. Remember, your goal isn't to sound perfect. Your goal is to become a little better than yesterday. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You're talking to someone in English. You forget one word. But this time, you don't panic. You smile. You use a different word. And you keep talking. The conversation continues. Because confident speakers don't know every word. They simply know how to keep going. And now, so do you. Before we finish, I want you to think about one question. What if just 5 minutes a day could change the way you listen, the way you speak, and the way you think in English? In the next part, I'm going to guide you through a simple daily shadowing routine that you can follow every single day. You don't need special equipment. You don't need a perfect accent. You only need your voice and a few quiet minutes. Let's begin your 7-minute daily shadowing workout. Welcome back. Now, don't just listen to me. Practice with me. Remember, you don't become a better speaker by only understanding English. You become a better speaker by speaking. So, for the next few minutes, I'm your practice partner. If you make a mistake, keep going. If you miss a word, keep going. The goal today is not perfection. The goal is movement. Let's begin. Minute 1. Just listen. First, don't repeat. Simply listen. Relax your shoulders. Take a slow breath and let English come to you. Listen. Every new day gives me another chance to improve. Again. Every new day gives me another chance to improve. One last time. Every new day gives me another chance to improve. Excellent. See? No pressure. Just listening. Minute 2. Echo my voice. Now, repeat after me. Ready? I'm learning one step at a time. Again. I'm learning one step at a time. Very good. Next sentence. Little by little, I'm getting stronger. Your turn. Wonderful. Now, one more. Today is another chance to practice. Beautiful. Notice something. Your mouth is becoming more comfortable. Minute 3. Match my rhythm. This time, don't only copy the words. Copy the rhythm. Listen. I'll keep going even when it's difficult. Now you. Again. A little smoother. Excellent. Rhythm makes English sound natural. Not speed. Never forget that. Minute 4. Add feeling. English isn't only words. It's emotion. Let's try. Say this sentence. Like you're excited. I can't wait to see my progress. Great. Now say this one calmly. Everything will get better with practice. Wonderful. Now confidently. I believe in myself. Excellent. Feeling changes your voice and your confidence. Minute 5. Make it yours. Now, don't copy me. Create your own sentence. Maybe, today I'll practice before dinner. Or, I'm proud that I didn't give up. Or, tomorrow I'll come back again. There's no perfect answer. Only your answer. That's real speaking. Minute 6. Keep going. Here's something important. Maybe you missed a few words. Maybe your pronunciation wasn't perfect. Good. That means you're learning. Every learner you admire has spoken thousands of imperfect sentences. They improved because they never stopped. So promise yourself, don't stop because of one mistake. Keep moving. Keep speaking. Keep growing. Minute 7. Your daily promise. Let's finish together. Repeat after me. I showed up today. I practiced today. I'm getting better every single day. Again. A little louder. I'm getting better every single day. Beautiful. I'm proud of you. Not because you were perfect. Because you stayed with me. And that matters. Today's tiny mission. After this podcast ends, don't close it. And forget everything. Use just 5 more minutes today. Speak to yourself. Describe your evening. Talk while making tea. Talk while getting ready for bed. The more English becomes part of your normal life, the less scary it becomes. But there's one final piece. One habit that quietly turns beginners into confident speakers. Most people ignore it. The learners who succeed never do. In the next part, I'll give you a simple daily speaking routine with fun micro challenges that will help English become a natural part of your everyday life. And I think it may become your favorite part of this entire podcast. Daily speaking routine. Turn quiet moments into English moments. Welcome back.
You've listened.
You've shadowed. You've repeated. Now it's time for something different. It's time to speak. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Let me ask you something. How many times have you finished an English lesson? Close the video. And didn't speak a single English sentence afterward? Many learners do exactly that. They learn, but they don't use. And that's where progress slows down. Some people believe, I'll start speaking when I know more words. It sounds reasonable. But here's the truth. The more you wait, The harder speaking feels, your vocabulary grows, but your confidence doesn't. Why? Because confidence doesn't come from knowing. It comes from using the simple solution. Don't wait until you're ready. Speak with the English you already have. Maybe it's only 10 words. That's okay. Use those 10 words. Tomorrow you'll have 11. Next week you'll have 20. Little by little, your English grows. Not because you learned everything, because you used what you already knew. Let me tell you about Mia. Every evening, she walked her dog for 20 minutes. Usually, she listened to music. One day, she tried something new. For just 5 minutes, she spoke English to herself. She said things like, "It's a beautiful evening. The park is quiet today. I think it's going to rain later." Some days, she forgot words, so she used easier ones. She never stopped talking. 3 months later, she noticed something amazing. When someone asked her a question in English, she answered more quickly. Not because she had memorized more grammar, because speaking had become normal. Your 5-minute speaking routine. Let's build your daily habit. Minute 1. Describe your moment. Say what is happening now. For example, the room feels nice and cool. I'm sitting comfortably. This podcast is helping me. Keep it simple. Minute 2. Talk about today. Ask yourself, what happened today? Maybe you say, I finished my work early. I tried a new recipe. I had a busy afternoon. Don't rush. One sentence is enough.
Minute 3.
Talk about tomorrow. Now think ahead. Say, tomorrow I'll wake up a little earlier. I'll practice English before breakfast. I'll call my friend in the evening. You're training your brain to think ahead in English. Minute 4. Solve a tiny problem. Imagine this. You spill your coffee. Instead of staying silent, say, no problem, I'll clean it up. Or, your phone battery is low. Say, I need to charge my phone. These are the kinds of sentences real people use every day.
Minute 5.
End with gratitude. Before you finish, say one positive sentence. I'm proud that I practiced today. I didn't give up. Tomorrow I'll come back again. Simple words. Powerful habit. Mini speaking challenge. Ready? I want you to speak for 30 seconds. Don't stop. If you forget a word, use another one. If you make a mistake, keep smiling. Your goal is not perfect English. Your goal is continuous English. Ready?
Go!
Excellent. Did you notice? You spoke longer than you thought you could. That's progress. Repeat after me. Let's finish together. I already know enough to start speaking. Again. Every sentence builds my confidence. One last time. My voice becomes stronger every day. Beautiful. Never forget. Confidence isn't something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. One sentence. One conversation. One day at a time. Imagine yourself a few months from now. Someone starts a conversation in English. This time, you don't freeze. You don't search for perfect words. You simply smile, take a breath, and answer. Maybe your English still isn't perfect, but your courage is up, and that courage will open more doors than perfect grammar ever could. Now we've learned how to practice. But here's a beautiful question. Why does all this effort matter? Why keep showing up every day? Why keep speaking, even when progress feels slow? Because English is much more than a language. It can change the way you see yourself, the opportunities you receive, and the future you build. In the next part, I'll share a story that reminds us why learning English is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And I have a feeling it might be the most emotional part of this entire journey. How English can change your future. A story you'll remember. Welcome back. Before we finish today's journey, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Now imagine it's 1 year from today. You're standing somewhere new. Maybe at a job interview. Maybe at an airport. Maybe in an online meeting. Maybe you're talking to someone from another country. This time, you don't feel afraid. You don't say, I can't speak English. Instead, you smile and you begin speaking. How would that feel? Hold on to that picture, because that's what we're working toward. One small day at a time. Sometimes learners ask, Emma, is learning English really worth it? That's a fair question. When progress feels slow, it's easy to forget the bigger picture. You practice for 5 minutes. Nothing dramatic happens. The next day, still nothing dramatic. So your brain whispers, maybe this isn't making a difference. The simple solution. Don't only look at today's result. Look at tomorrow's opportunities. Every small practice session is an investment in your future. You may not see the reward today, but one day it will surprise you. A story about one conversation. Let me tell you about Ava. Ava wasn't the best English student. She still made grammar mistakes. She still forgot words sometimes. But she never stopped practicing just a little, every day. Months later, she joined an online event. People from many countries were there. At first, she wanted to stay quiet. Then she remembered something. Progress, not perfection. She took a deep breath, smiled, and introduced herself. That simple conversation lasted only a few minutes, but it led to something unexpected. She made a new friend. A few weeks later, that friend told her about an exciting job opportunity. Can English guarantee success?
No.
But it can open doors that you never knew were there. And you'll only discover those doors if you're willing to knock. English connects people. English isn't just about grammar. It isn't just about vocabulary. It's about connection. Today, more than 1.5 billion people use English around the world. Every new sentence you learn makes it easier to connect with someone new. Maybe one day, you'll ask for directions while traveling. Maybe you'll join an international team. Maybe you'll study abroad. Maybe you'll make a friend you've never met before. Every sentence you practice today brings that future a little closer. Let's think together. What could English help you do? Could it help you feel more confident? Find a better opportunity? Travel with less fear? Understand books, podcasts, movies, or people from around the world? There isn't one correct answer. Your dream is enough. And your dream matters. Repeat after me. Say these words slowly. English is opening new doors for me. Again. Every day my future is growing. One last time. I believe in the person I'm becoming. Beautiful. Never stop saying those words. One day, you'll realize they became true. A gentle reminder. Please don't compare yourself to someone who has practiced for 5 years. When you've practiced for 5 weeks, everyone has a different starting point. Everyone has a different journey. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. One small improvement is still improvement.
One brave sentence
Is still bravery. One 5-minute practice is still progress. And progress always wins. Imagine yourself looking back 1 year from now. You'll remember this moment, not because you learned one new word, but because this was the day you stopped waiting for the perfect time and started becoming the person who never gives up. That decision could change far more than your English. It could change your confidence, your opportunities, and the story you tell yourself. We're almost at the end. But before we finish, There's one final message. The message I hope stays with you long after this podcast ends. It's not about grammar. It's not about pronunciation. It's about the kind of learner you choose to become. So stay with me, because the final chapters may become the most important words you hear today. Look how far you've come. Welcome back. Before this podcast ends, let's stop for just a moment. Not to learn something new, but to remember everything you've already done today. Sometimes we move so quickly that we forget to celebrate our own progress. So today, let's do that together. Look back for a moment. When this podcast started, maybe you felt nervous. Maybe you were thinking, I hope I don't fail again. I hope I can stay consistent this time. I hope my English gets better. Now look at yourself. You stayed here. You listened. You repeated. You practiced. You didn't give up. That already makes today a successful day. Let's remember the journey. Today, you learned that you don't need hours every day. You only need a few meaningful minutes. You discovered that your reason for learning English is stronger than your excuses. You learned how to make English part of your normal life. You practice speaking to yourself without fear. You learned how shadowing trains your ears, your mouth, and your confidence. You discovered that tracking your progress keeps your motivation alive. And most importantly, you learn that mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs that learning is happening. The biggest lesson. If I could leave you with only one idea, it would be this. Don't ask yourself, how fast am I improving? Instead, ask, did I show up today? Because learners who keep showing up always move forward. Maybe slowly, maybe quietly, but always forward. Let's answer 3 simple questions together. Did you learn something today? Did you speak English today? Did you become just a little more confident today? If your answer is yes, then today was worth it. And if your answer is I'm still learning, that's a wonderful answer too, because learning never stops. Repeat after me. Let's say these words together. I am proud of today's progress. Again, small steps create big results. One more time. I will come back tomorrow. Beautiful. Those aren't just words. They're a promise to yourself, One final story. Imagine two people. One waits for the perfect day to begin. The other starts today with 5 simple minutes. 1 year later, who speaks more English? The person who waited or the person who started? The answer is simple. Great journeys don't begin with giant steps. They begin with one small decision. Today, you made that decision. A few months from now, you'll listen to English and understand more. You'll speak with less fear. You'll smile more often. Not because everything became easy, but because you never stopped showing up. And one day, without even noticing, English will feel like a natural part of your life. In just a moment, I'll leave you with one final message. Not as your teacher, but as someone who truly believes in you. It's a message I hope you'll remember. On the days when learning feels hard, because those are the days that matter the most. Let's finish this journey together. A letter to your future self. Take a slow, deep breath. Relax your shoulders. And for the next few minutes, imagine you're reading a letter. Not from me, but from the future version of yourself. The version who never gave up. The version who kept practicing. The version who now speaks English with confidence. Let's read that letter together. Dear me, I know you're wondering if all these small steps really matter. I know there are days when you feel tired. Days when you don't feel like practicing. Days when you think, maybe I'm too slow. I remember those days, because I lived them too. But please, don't stop. One day, you'll smile when you hear yourself speaking English. Not because every sentence is perfect, but because your fear is gone. You'll remember this moment, the day you almost gave up. And you'll be thankful that you didn't. So today, please do one thing for me. Keep going. Even if your practice lasts only 5 minutes. 5 honest minutes can change your future. I'll be waiting for you. With confidence. With courage. And with a smile.
Love.
Your future self.
A gentle pause.
That letter isn't just a story. One day, it can become your reality. But only if you keep taking one small step after another. You don't need to run. You don't need to compare yourself. You only need to keep moving. Sometimes you'll have a bad day. Maybe work feels stressful. Maybe school feels difficult. Maybe your mind feels tired. On those days, you'll hear a little voice say, skip today's practice. The simple solution. When that happens, don't ask yourself, do I feel motivated? Ask yourself, can I give just 1 minute? 1 minute is enough, because 1 minute keeps your habit alive. And a habit that stays alive becomes a lifestyle. Remember, protect the habit. The progress will follow. Exercise. Let's make a promise together. Finish this sentence out loud, even on busy days. Now say, I'll give myself at least 1 minute. Again, 1 minute is better than no minutes. Beautiful. That one sentence can save your learning journey. Repeat after me. Let's say these words slowly. My future is built one day at a time. Again, I choose progress over excuses. One last time, I will keep showing up. Excellent. Never underestimate the power of showing up. Future reward. Picture yourself in 6 months from now. You press play on one of your old voice recordings. You listen carefully. Then you record a new one. You notice something. Your words come more easily. Your voice sounds calmer. Your confidence feels real. And without realizing it, you whisper, I'm so glad I didn't quit. That moment is waiting for you. One small day at a time. Before we say goodbye, there's one final promise I'd love you to make. Not to me, not to this channel, but to yourself. Because sometimes one honest promise can change an entire year. Let's make that promise together. The one promise that can change everything. Welcome back. We've almost reached the end of today's journey. But before we finish, I want to ask you for one small promise. Not a big promise. Not something impossible. Just one simple promise that your future self will thank you for. Many people make huge plans. Tomorrow I'll study for 3 hours. I'll never miss another day. I'll become fluent in a few months. Those promises sound exciting. But when life gets busy, those big promises become heavy. And heavy promises are easy to break. Then disappointment begins. You miss one day, then another. Soon, you start believing, maybe I just don't have enough discipline. But that's not the truth. The real problem was never you. The real problem was trying to do too much, too soon. The simple solution. Instead of making a huge promise, make a promise you can keep. Say, every day I'll spend at least 5 minutes with English. Some days, you'll do 5 minutes. Some days, you'll do 20. Some days, maybe even more. But on difficult days, those 5 minutes will protect your habit. And that habit will protect your dream. Let me tell you about Lucas. Lucas loved learning English. But every time he missed one day, he felt guilty. He thought, I ruined everything. One evening, his teacher gave him a simple piece of advice. She smiled and said, never miss 2 days in a row. That one sentence changed everything. If Lucas missed Monday, he always came back on Tuesday. If he missed Friday, he returned on Saturday. He stopped chasing perfection. He started building consistency. Months later, his English improved. But more importantly, he finally trusted himself. Today's promise. Now it's your turn. Say these words slowly. I don't have to do everything today. I only have to come back tomorrow. Again. I will never miss 2 days in a row. Beautiful. That promise is simple, but it is powerful. Imagine two learners. The first one studies for 3 hours, then disappears for 2 weeks. The second learner practices for just 5 minutes, almost every day. Who will become more confident? You already know the answer. Confidence grows where consistency lives. Repeat after me. Let's finish this promise together. I trust the process. I believe in small steps. I will keep going, one day at a time. Wonderful. These aren't just words. They're the beginning of a new habit. Picture yourself 1 year from now. Someone compliments your English. They ask, how did you improve? You smile. And your answer is simple. I didn't do anything extraordinary. I just refused to give up. What a beautiful answer that will be. In the next part, we're not going to learn grammar. We're not going to learn vocabulary. We're going to do something even more important. We're going to speak to ourselves with kindness. Because the way you talk to yourself can either build your confidence or slowly break it. Let's finish this journey with hope, confidence, and a heart that believes, yes, I really can do this. Final guided affirmations. Speak to yourself like a friend. Welcome back. We've learned about habits. We've practiced speaking. We've learned shadowing. We've talked about mistakes. Now, let's spend a few quiet moments working on something you cannot see, your inner voice. Because every single day, you talk to yourself. The question is, are your words helping you or stopping you? Sometimes we become our own biggest critic. We say, my English is terrible. I'll never sound natural. Everyone speaks better than me. I'm too old to learn. I'm too slow. The more we repeat these sentences, the more we believe them. And when we believe them, we stop trying. The simple solution. Let's change those sentences. Not because we're pretending, but because we're choosing words that help us grow. Remember, your brain listens to what you repeat every day. So today, let's give your brain better words,
kinder words,
stronger words, a small story. There was a learner named Grace. Every mistake made her upset. Whenever she forgot a word, she whispered, "I'm so bad at English." One day, her teacher asked her a simple question. "Would you speak to your best friend that way?" Grace smiled and said, "Never." The teacher replied, "Then don't speak to yourself that way either." That one sentence stayed with her. From that day on, every mistake became a reminder not to criticize herself, but to encourage herself. Slowly, her confidence began to grow. Not because her English changed overnight, because her mindset changed. Let's practice together. I'll say a sentence. Then you repeat after me. Slowly, clearly, and believe every word. I'm learning at my own pace. Very good. Again, every day I understand a little more. Wonderful. Now this one. My mistakes are helping me grow. Excellent. Again, I don't need perfect English to communicate. Beautiful. Now the most important one. I believe in myself. Once more. I believe in myself. Today, every time you catch yourself saying something negative, take one deep breath. Then replace that sentence with a better one. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I'm still learning." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm getting better every day." One small change. One healthier habit. One stronger mind. Imagine waking up 6 months from now. You open your notebook. You play your old voice recording. You smile. Not because every sentence is perfect, but because you can hear confidence in your own voice. And confidence is something no one can give you. You build it.
one kind word, one brave sentence.
One small practice at a time. One last thought before we continue. Always remember this. Fluent English is wonderful, but a confident heart is even more powerful. When you believe in yourself, you stop being afraid of mistakes. And when you're no longer afraid of mistakes, that's when real learning begins. We're almost at the end. But before we say goodbye, I want to give you one small mission. A mission that takes only 5 minutes tomorrow. It sounds simple, but if you do it every day, 1 year from now, you'll thank yourself for starting. Let's do that together. In the next part. Welcome back. We're almost at the end. But learning English doesn't end when this podcast ends. Real learning begins after you press stop. So, I'd like to give you one small mission. Not homework. Not a test. Just one simple challenge. A challenge that almost anyone can do. Ready? Let's begin. Your 5-minute mission. Tomorrow. Choose any 5 quiet minutes. That's all. 5 minutes. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a notebook. You don't even need perfect English. You only need your voice. Here's your mission. Minute 1. Listen to 1 minute of English. Maybe it's this podcast. Maybe it's a short story. Maybe it's a simple conversation. Just listen. Relax. Don't worry about understanding every word. Minute 2. Repeat 1 sentence. Again. And again. Copy the rhythm. Copy the feeling. Not because you want to sound perfect. Because you're training your ears and your mouth to work together. Minute 3. Speak about your day. Just 3 or 4 simple sentences. For example, today was a busy day. I finished something important. I'm happy I practiced English. Simple. Natural. Enough. Minute 4. Learn 1 new expression. Not 20. Just 1. Then use it immediately. When you use a new expression, your brain remembers it much better. Minute 5. End with 1 positive sentence. Say, I'm proud that I showed up today. Smile. Take a deep breath. And enjoy that feeling. Because every time you finish your 5-minute mission, you're proving something. You're proving that you are becoming someone who doesn't give up. A tiny secret. Can I tell you something? Most successful English learners are not successful because they have more talent. They're successful because they return again and again. Some days, their practice is amazing. Some days, it's only 5 minutes. But they keep the habit alive. And that's the secret. Repeat after me. Let's finish today's mission together. 5 minutes can change my future. Again, I will come back tomorrow. One last time. My journey continues 1 day at a time. Beautiful. A gentle reminder. If tomorrow isn't perfect, that's okay. If you make mistakes, that's okay. If you only have 1 minute, that's okay too. Because learning English isn't about having perfect days. It's about having more days where you come back. And every time you come back, you're becoming stronger. In the next part, I'll tell you one final story. A story about two learners. They both had the same dream. They both started at the same place. But one small habit completely changed their future. And I think you'll remember that story long after this podcast ends. One small habit, two different futures. Welcome back. Before we say goodbye, let me tell you one final story. It's about two friends. Their names are Ethan and Sophie. Both wanted to speak English. Both started on the same day. Both knew almost the same number of words. Both had busy lives. At the beginning, they looked exactly the same. But 1 year later, their journeys looked completely different. Why? Let's find out. During the first week, both friends were excited. They watched videos. They wrote new words. They imagined themselves speaking English confidently. But after a few weeks, life became busy. Work became stressful. Some days, they felt tired. Some days, they didn't feel like practicing.
Sound familiar?
Almost every learner experiences this. What Ethan did. Ethan thought, if I can't study for an hour, I'll wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. Every time he stopped, starting again felt even harder. He wasn't lazy. He simply believed that only big study sessions mattered. Slowly, his confidence disappeared. Not because he couldn't learn, because he stopped showing up. What Sophie did. Sophie had busy days too. She also felt tired. She also missed some practice. But she followed one simple rule. Never stop for long. If she had only 2 minutes, she used 2 minutes. If she had 5 minutes, she used 5 minutes. While waiting for her tea, she listened to English. While walking to the store, she spoke a few simple sentences. Before going to bed, she repeated one useful expression. Small moments, small habits, small victories, every single day. The result. 1 year later, people noticed something. Sophie wasn't perfect. She still made mistakes. Sometimes she forgot words. But she smiled. She spoke. She kept the conversation going. Ethan knew many grammar rules, but he was still waiting. for the perfect time. Can you see the difference? The winner wasn't the person with more talent. The winner was the person who refused to disappear. The lesson. Maybe today you feel more like Ethan. Maybe you've started and stopped many times. That's okay. Today is a new beginning. You don't have to carry yesterday's disappointment. You only have to decide what you'll do today and tomorrow. One small choice can create a completely different future. Ask yourself one question. 1 year from today, which story do you want to tell? I kept waiting. Or I kept going. Take a moment. Choose your answer. Then let your actions match that answer. Repeat after me. Let's say these words together. I choose consistency over perfection. Again, I will always come back. One last time. My future begins with today's small step. Beautiful. Keep those words close. They'll help you on the difficult days. Imagine yourself 12 months from now. You're having a conversation in English. You laugh. You understand. You reply without panic. Then suddenly, you remember today. You remember this podcast. You remember the moment you decided not to quit anymore. That decision will become one of the best gifts you've ever given yourself. We're almost at the finish line. There's just one final message. Not about English. Not about grammar. Not even about speaking. It's about you. Because long after you forget today's examples, I hope you never forget the one idea I'm about to leave in your heart. Let's finish this journey together. Meet the future version of you. Welcome back. Before we say goodbye, I want you to imagine something. Not with your eyes, with your heart. Imagine. It's 1 year from today. You're sitting in your favorite cafe. Or maybe you're walking through a new city. Your phone rings. Someone starts speaking English. This time, you don't feel nervous. You don't think, what if I make a mistake? Instead, you smile, take a slow breath, and simply begin. Can you picture that moment? Stay there for a few seconds. Because that future is closer than you think. Many learners believe confident people are born that way. Maybe they have a better memory. Maybe English is just easier for them. But that's not true. Every confident speaker was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once searched for simple words. Every person you admire once made mistakes. just like you. The difference wasn't talent. The difference was they didn't stop. The simple solution. Stop asking, can I become fluent? Start asking, what small step will I take today? Because your future isn't built in one big moment. It's built one tiny habit at a time. One sentence. One shadowing session. One 5-minute practice. Again and again. A short story. Imagine a bridge. One small piece. Doesn't look impressive. Neither does the second. Or the third. But day after day, piece by piece, the bridge grows. One day, people walk across it. Your confidence works the same way. Today's practice may feel small. Tomorrow's practice may also feel small. But together, they build a bridge. A bridge between the person you are today and the person you're becoming. Think about yourself. Not 6 years from now. Not even 1 year. Just 30 days. If you spend 5 minutes with English every day, how will you feel? Will listening become easier? I believe it will. Will speaking feel less scary? I believe it will. Will you still make mistakes? Yes. And that's okay. Because you'll also make progress. Repeat after me. Let's say these words slowly. My future starts today. Again. I grow every time I practice.
One more.
I believe in my journey. Excellent. Hold on to those words, especially on the difficult days. One final reminder. Please, don't rush your journey. A flower doesn't bloom the day after it's planted. It grows quietly, little by little. Your English is doing the same thing. Even when you can't see it, trust the process. Trust your effort. And most importantly, trust yourself. Future reward. One day, someone will say, your English sounds so natural. They won't see the early mornings, the 5-minute practices, the mistakes, the days you almost quit, but you will, and you'll smile, because you'll know every tiny step mattered, every single one. We're almost there. One final lesson remains. If you forget every example from today's podcast, if you forget every practice, I hope you remember just one sentence. One sentence that can change the way you learn English forever. Let's hear it together in the next part. The one lesson I hope you never forget. Welcome back. We're almost at the end. And before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with one simple idea. Not a difficult rule. Not a grammar lesson. Just one sentence. A sentence I hope stays with you long after today's podcast ends. Ready? Here it is. Small daily actions create big life changes. Let's say it again. Small daily actions create big life changes. One more time. Small daily actions create big life changes. Never forget those words. Sometimes we look at fluent speakers and think, I'll never reach that level. Then we compare. We feel discouraged. We lose hope. And slowly, we stop trying. But comparison steals something precious. It steals today's opportunity. This simple solution. Instead of comparing yourself, celebrate yourself. Ask one simple question every evening. Did I practice today? If the answer is yes, be proud. Even if it was only for 5 minutes. Even if you learned only one new sentence. Because every small effort moves you forward. A story you'll remember. Imagine 2 jars. Every day, you place one tiny stone into the first jar. Some days, the stone is small. Some days, it's a little bigger. At first, the jar looks almost empty. But after many days, it becomes full. Your English journey is exactly like that. Every sentence, every shadowing session, every brave conversation, every new word is another stone. Keep filling your jar. One day, you'll look inside and be amazed by how much you've collected.
A quiet moment.
Take a deep breath. Now think about today. You listened. You practiced. You stayed until the end. That tells me something. It tells me you haven't given up. And as long as you haven't given up, your story is still being written. Repeat after me. Let's say these words together. I don't need to be the fastest learner. I only need to keep learning. Again. Every small step matters. One last time. I will never give up on myself. Beautiful. Please remember those words, especially on the days when learning feels difficult. One final truth. Learning English isn't only about speaking another language. It's about becoming someone who keeps showing up, who keeps trying, who keeps believing. That kind of person can achieve much more than English. Because once you learn how to stay consistent, you can use that strength in every part of your life. One day, you'll help someone else. Maybe your child. Maybe your friend. Maybe another beginner. And when they say, I don't think I can do it. You'll smile because you'll know exactly how they feel. You'll gently say, start with 5 minutes. Don't give up. It really works. And in that moment, you'll realize something beautiful. You didn't just learn English. You became an inspiration. We're almost at the final goodbye. In the next part, we'll look back one last time, celebrate your journey, and leave with a calm heart, a clear mind, and a promise to meet again tomorrow. Let's finish this journey together. Final power recap. You did more than you think. Welcome back. Can you believe it? We've reached the final part of today's learning journey. Before we say goodbye, I don't want you to think about how much English you still have to learn. I want you to think about how much you've already done today. Take one slow breath, smile, and let's look back together. Look at today's journey. Today, you didn't just watch a video. You made a promise to yourself. You learned that 5 minutes can be enough. You learned that consistency is stronger than motivation. You learned that your why gives you strength on difficult days. You learned how to make English part of your everyday life. You practiced speaking. You practiced shadowing. You learned to track your progress. You learned that mistakes are teachers, not enemies. And most importantly, to believe in yourself. That is a beautiful journey. The biggest mistake to avoid. Let's remember one important thing. Please don't leave this podcast feeling that you must do everything perfectly, because that's not today's lesson. Today's lesson is much simpler. Come back tomorrow. That's all. Don't try to be perfect. Just return. And again, that's how confidence grows. That's how fluency grows. That's how dreams grow.
One simple question.
Tonight, before you go to sleep, ask yourself only one question. Did I spend a few minutes with English today? If the answer is yes, then today was a success. Not because you learned hundreds of words, but because you kept your promise. And promises kept. Build confidence. Repeat after me. Let's say these words together. I am proud of today's progress. Again. Tomorrow I will take one more step. One last time. I trust my journey. Beautiful. Hold those words close. They're stronger than you think. A small reminder. There will be busy days. There will be tired days. There will even be days when you don't feel like practicing. That's okay. Don't let one difficult day become one difficult month. Come back, even for 1 minute, because 1 minute keeps your dream alive. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You're watching another English video. Suddenly, you understand almost everything. You smile, not because it happened overnight, but because you never stopped coming back. That smile will be worth every small step you take today. One last thought. Before we say goodbye, remember this. You don't become fluent by learning once. You become fluent by returning again. That simple habit can change your English and maybe even change your life. We're just one step away from the end. In the next part, I won't teach you anything new. I simply want to say thank you and leave you with a few words. I hope you'll remember, every time you feel like giving up, goodbye before you leave. Welcome back. We've reached the end of today's podcast. Before you close this video, before you return to your busy day, may I ask you for just one quiet moment? Take a slow breath, relax, and simply listen. A message from my heart. If no one has told you this recently, let me say it today. I'm proud of you. Not because your English is perfect. Not because you know every grammar rule. Not because you pronounced every word correctly. I'm proud of you. Because you stayed. You listened. You practiced. And most importantly, you didn't give up today. That matters more than you realize. When tomorrow feels difficult, tomorrow might be busy. Maybe you'll wake up tired. Maybe work will be stressful. Maybe you'll think, I'll practice another day. If that moment comes, I want you to remember my voice. Not to make you feel guilty, but to gently remind you. Just come back, even for 1 minute. 1 minute is enough to keep your promise alive. 1 minute is enough to remind yourself, I'm still moving forward. A small gift. I'd like to leave you with one sentence. You don't have to memorize it. Just keep it in your heart. The learner who keeps going always surprises themselves. Maybe not today. Maybe not next week. But one day, you'll stop in the middle of a conversation and suddenly realize, I'm speaking English without thinking so much. That day will feel ordinary, but it's actually extraordinary because it will be built on hundreds of tiny moments, just like today. Repeat after me. Let's say these words together. Slowly, calmly. Believe them. I am stronger than my doubts. Again, every practice makes me better. One more time. I will never stop believing in myself. Beautiful. Keep those words with you, especially on the days when your confidence feels small. One final story. Imagine climbing a mountain. When you look at the top, it seems far away. Sometimes too far away. But climbers don't reach the top by staring at the mountain. They reach it by taking one step, then another. Your English journey is the same. Don't look only at the top. Look at your next step. That's where real progress lives. 1 year from now, you may not remember every sentence from today's podcast, but I hope you'll remember this feeling. The feeling that you believed in yourself. The feeling that you decided to continue. Because that decision can quietly change your future. And I truly believe your future has wonderful things waiting for you. In the next part, I have one tiny invitation. Not a request. Not an advertisement. Just a simple invitation. If you'd like us to keep learning together, and after that, we'll end today's journey with peace, hope, and one final promise. I'll be waiting for you. A simple invitation. Before we say our final goodbye, can I ask you something? Think back to the beginning of this podcast. Maybe you arrived here feeling nervous, feeling unsure, or wondering, can I really learn English? Now look at yourself. You stayed with me. You practiced. You spoke. You smiled. That makes me happy. And I truly hope you feel a little more confident than you did before. If this podcast helped you, if today's podcast helped you, even a little, then don't let today be the end. Let today be your beginning. Come back tomorrow. Practice again. Speak again. Smile again. Because confidence grows when we keep showing up together. If you'd like to continue this journey with me, I'd love to see you again. Here on Learn English Unleashed, we're building something special. Not just an English channel. A place where beginners feel welcome. A place where mistakes are normal. A place where progress matters more than perfection. So if that sounds like the kind of place you need, I warmly invite you to subscribe and join our learning family. That way, you won't miss our next slow listening, shadowing, and speaking practice together. One promise. I have a promise for you. As long as you keep showing up, I'll keep creating lessons, stories, practice sessions, and encouragement to help you grow. We won't rush. We won't compare ourselves with others. We'll simply move forward, one day at a time. one sentence at a time, one small victory at a time. Repeat after me. Before we finish, let's say these words together. I will come back tomorrow. Again. I am building my future one day at a time. One last time. I believe in myself, and I will keep going. Beautiful. That is the best promise you can make. Please remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know every word. You don't have to sound like a native speaker. You only need one thing: the courage to begin again tomorrow. If you can do that, everything else will come with time. Now, only one final part remains. No more lessons. No more practice. Just a peaceful goodbye. And one final message from my heart to yours. Until we meet again. We've reached the end of today's journey. And before we say goodbye, I want you to do one last thing. Take a slow, deep breath. Hold it for a moment. Now, gently let it go. Very good. Now smile. Because today, you did something important. You invested in yourself, not for someone else. Not because anyone forced you, but because you believe your future is worth building. And that is something to be proud of. One last reminder. You don't have to become fluent this week. You don't have to know thousands of words tomorrow. You don't have to sound perfect. You only have to keep one promise. Come back. Come back after a busy day. Come back after making mistakes. Come back after losing confidence. Come back after missing a practice session. Because every time you come back, you're telling yourself, I haven't given up. And that simple decision has more power than you can imagine. Let's say it together one last time. Repeat after me. Slowly. Calmly. Believe every word. I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming more confident every day. Again, I will never give up on myself. One last time. My future begins with the small choices I make today. Beautiful. Keep those words with you. Not only today, but every day. A quiet picture. Imagine yourself a few months from now. You're watching one of our lessons again. This time, you understand more. You speak more. You smile more. Then you quietly think, I'm really improving. That moment won't happen because of it will happen because you chose to keep going. One small practice at a time. From my heart to yours. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for trusting me to be part of your English journey. And thank you for believing that your future can be brighter than your past. Remember, you are not competing with anyone. You are simply becoming a better version of yourself. One day, one sentence, one conversation at a time. Our promise. Before we leave, let's make one final promise together. I'll keep creating lessons to make English simple, friendly, and enjoyable. And you promise yourself that you'll keep showing up, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Because 5 minutes today can become confidence tomorrow, and confidence tomorrow can become a brand new future. So wherever you are, whether you're listening at home, on a bus, during a walk, or before going to sleep, please remember this. Your English journey is not a race. It's a beautiful adventure. Walk at your own pace. Celebrate every small victory. Be kind to yourself. And never stop believing that you can do this. Because you can. I truly believe in you. I'm Emma, and this is Learn English Unleashed. Take care of yourself. Keep learning. Keep smiling. And I'll see you in our next lesson. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.